Hi, I'm Jenny Fish with One Big Happy Yarn Company, and welcome to block 2 of our block of the month knit along. I'm so excited to show this one to you. It is called the alternating 2-color stockinette block. Here it is in our finished blanket. Isn't that pretty? So there's a few different things that I want to discuss with this block. First of all, we're going to be alternating every other stitch with a new color, back and forth. But before we get started on all that fancy stuff, I want to show you these two blocks. From a distance, you can see the difference. Up close, they look really the same. It's kind of backwards to what people normally say. However, the thing with alternating the two different stitches in the colors is that one of them is going to kind of peek out. It's called color dominance. I don't want to go into a big long spiel on color dominance. I'm going to boil it down to something super simple with this block. Whatever hand you're dominant with that you hold, whatever, like I'm right-handed. So whatever hand I hold or whatever color I hold in my right hand is going to pop out more than the color that I hold in my left hand. And I'll show you this as we go along, but keep in mind, in this block right here, the green I held in my right hand and the blue I held in my left hand. And on this block here, the blue I held in my right hand and the green I held in my left hand. And when you look at them up close, they really look the same in my eyes. But when I stand back or I take a picture, then I can see which color is peeking forward at me or which color is more dominant. So keep that in mind as you make your block and you pick your colors for your sequence. In the pattern, of course, I have listed which colors I use. My first color is what I'll be using in my right hand, and my second color is what I'll be using in my left hand so that you can stay on track with where I was at. But because this block, other than your cast on and your bind off, basically use the same amount of yarn, you can switch them up to whichever color you want to be dominant in your block. So that is, I think, a little cool technique to think about when you're making this, because you can still use the same colors but make it have just a little bit of a difference. And I just wanted to point that out for you guys because it's kind of interesting to me as I go along. But this is what block 2 looks like right here. And let's get started. First of all, I'm going to cast on with a larger size needle. I bumped this up to a size 11. And the reason for that, and I'll show you the back of this work. See these right here? These are called floats. And as I float across, and see on this one, look, can you tell the difference now? This one versus this one. This one looks more blue. This one looks more green. This is the one I held the green in my right hand, and this is the one where I held the blue in my right hand. And you can really see it on the back side, the difference there as well. But because of these floats and because we're moving the yarn in the back, it tightens up our stitches. So in order to keep my block the same size, the 5 inches that I'm going for, I bumped up my needle size. And because of the interchangeable needles, I was able to just grab the larger cord and the larger tips, and let's get started. Okay, so we're going to cast on. Let me grab my green yarn here. And again, go ahead and cast on 20 stitches. I'm just going to cast on 10 so we can get started and I can show you how we do this. Normal cast on, or long tail cast on is what I used. And I cast on all in one color. And again, that is in your pattern. Just because I wanted to keep it a little bit more simple and smooth so we can just move right along. Get those stitches on our needle and get started. Okay, let me see. Oh, there we go. I got 10 stitches on my needle. You'll have 20. Row 1. You're going to knit 1 stitch. And then stitch 2, we're going to bring in our second color. And like we did before, I'm just making a loop, putting it on my needle and knitting with it, and I'm letting it just kind of hang out there. Now here's where the fun starts. I'm going to tighten these up because I want to keep my tension nice and easy. I'm going to be holding my dominant color in my right hand. That's this green, so I'm going to go ahead and knit that stitch. Then I'm switching to the blue. What I'm gonna do is hold my blue yarn in my left hand, and I'm gonna knit like this. So I'm gonna show you this a few times. I'm gonna show you some other options as well, but this is what I was most comfortable with. See how I'm switching back and forth, using this one, sliding in here, using this one, back and forth. Just like that. Then turn my work over. Now I'm on the back side of my work. I want to cross these two because my first purl is going to be with my first color, and I want it to crisscross over here. So now I'm purling, slide that through here. I'm going to hold the this yarn in my right hand, my first color in my right hand, and then my second color I'm going to hold in my left hand, just like this. Now this is how I hold it when I work these two like this. I'm going to go all the way back. And don't worry, I'm going to show you some other options. We're going to work the next row a little bit different. This is how I hold them. Like that. And turn. So, now, I'm going to show you another way. This one is blue, so I want to knit it with green. Make sure. I like to kind of twist these around each other just so that the ends are a little bit more secure. So, knit one with the green, like normal. Now, the other option is, now I need to knit with blue, is you can drop that green and pick up the blue and knit with that. Then you can drop the blue, pick up the green, and knit with that. See how I'm just dropping and knitting? I'm also watching how my yarns are twisting around each other because I don't want to end up with a tangled mess. So I'm going under with the blue and over with the green. And if you get confused, you can look back at your tails. If they start to twirl up on each other, then there we go. Under with the blue, just like that. And you do the same thing, purling back. Again, that is another way to work those two stitches if you don't want to hold each color in each hand. So there's a couple of options for you. Go ahead and finish up your pattern, rotating between each color for each stitch, knitting and purling. And then when you bind off, when I bound off, I just bound off in one color, in the first color, to get all the stitches off. And then it looks like this. Go ahead and make 6 of these. So throughout this project, you really need to keep an eye on your gauge. Each of your blocks should end up 5 inches. Little trick, if your block is too big, you'll need to go down a needle size. If your block is too small, then you may need to bump up a needle size. But we have the interchangeable needle set, so your needles are there. Don't hesitate and don't be afraid to adjust your needle size. That's why in patterns we have a needle size, a suggested needle size, and then or size needed to obtain gauge. That's what that note is in there for, so that you can adjust, because we don't all knit with the same tension. Just be aware that it is perfectly okay to change your needle size as long as you get that 5-inch square throughout this whole project. So go ahead and finish up your block and join me for episode 3, where we're going to learn a little bit about impartial. Thank you so much. Happy knitting!